We have some rainfall here in the southeast this morning, which is a welcome change from the past and the cold weather and the snow. So where the snow was, it's likely melting right now. And good morning to everyone. This is Tim Ayler, meteorologist. Hope you all doing well. Welcome to my channel. And I love the weather, and I hope you do too. I'm assuming that's why you're here. I appreciate y'all watching. And like my video if you like it, subscribe, and share with your friends, and leave any comments, suggestions, or anything else you want to talk about in the comments below. And, just to review, we got coldest temperatures here in the Midwest, in the Northeast, and for the rest of the country, overall, pretty chilly, but not nearly as widespread cold as it has been. But if you live in Wisconsin area, you have the negative teens for the lows this morning. So pretty impactful. Snow showers and some rain showers in different areas along the lakes and in the mid-Atlantic this morning. And like I said, the most of the rainfall is in the southeast and deep south this morning, with stronger storms just offshore here. Um, the Gulf Coast, Louisiana, Mississippi Gulf Coast. So let's get started with the current hazards, and then we'll go over the forecast, what the future holds, and the typical stuff, the hazards outlooks, local forecast, and things like that. And then that'll be it for today. So appreciate y'all watching, and let's get started. So for current hazards, really not a lot on the map here. Some weather advisories in place here in parts of North Carolina. Special weather statements for patchy black ice and dense fog, and also let's see, black ice as well from snowpack melting and refreezing. And overall, out west here, we have some high winds and air quality problems, dense fog, air stagnation alerts, and here in parts of New York, winter weather advisory. So not a lot going on. You overlay this with the radar, you see why here. And because temps are above freezing, whatever snowpack is left over will definitely melt. But cold temps are going to return to the Northeast in the coming days for this weekend. So we'll talk about that. And yeah, so it's a nice change with not a lot of hazards on the map this morning. So widespread rain is expected, right? And they'd already moved through Atlanta last night, and then the timing in the Atlanta metro area is the rainfall is waning. This was updated last night, so I just want to show you this rainfall forecast graphic. So depending on where you're at, the timing is gonna be different here, but overall, light rain has spread across the state from northwest to southeast. It's already went through the Atlanta area, and it's more in the central part of the state now. And the rain will generally can't speak this morning, and from northwest to southeast as the day goes on. So today, widespread rain, highs 45 to 60. Thursday, decreasing clouds and cooler with highs in the 40s near 50, with lows in the 20s to 30s, depending on where you're at. And Friday, sunny, warming up some, generally highs from 50 to 60, lows, excuse me, from 20 to 30 Fahrenheit. The cool down will not last very long, with warmer conditions on Friday. So generally forecast for today, highs like on the previous slides, generally in the low 50s to upper 50s here. With rainfall chances the highest in the southern part of the state, the central part of the state, with partly sunny to mostly sunny partly to mostly cloudy skies in the northern part of the state here. Tonight, rainfall pushes to the south, temp cooling off from the mid-20s to the low to mid-30s to upper 30s in the far southern part of the state for temperatures. And then tomorrow, cooling off briefly here, highs, excuse me, in the low 40s to upper 40s, depending where you're at, to near 50 in the far southern reaches of the state. Sunny to partly sunny to mostly cloudy skies in the far southern part of the state as well. So what's the 15-day temperature outlook look like from the European ensemble standards here? Model output through the 18th, right, of February, looking to be above normal. As we get through the weekend, temperatures will warm up into the 60s to near 70 into next week, with some, cooling off some, but still above normal to near normal through the 18th, with a little bit more uncertainty further out, but the trends have been to be above normal um, through the middle of the February here. So it'll be a nice warm up for everybody if this this ends up verifying, which I think it will. It's been pretty consistent here. So and this is a GFS ensemble temperature output, which consists of 30 members, showing pretty much the same thing through February 19th. Move this out of the way up here somewhere. Anyway, generally, warming up in the 60s and 70s with some cool downs intermingled here, but overall a lot warmer than it has been, with temperatures generally above freezing um, after this upcoming weekend. So there's some more Arctic air that's going to be pushing into the northeast this weekend, and could have near record-breaking cold temperatures up here, especially in the higher terrain here, the extreme, northern New England here, with wind chills near negative 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and brief periods of significant snow squalls as well, the 6th through the 9th. So generally through the weekend here, life-threatening is the words I use here. So we get through this, and it looks like temperature is going to warm up some after that. So uh, buckle up, guys, for this weekend, and hopefully we'll get some relief as we get into next week. So just be prepared for this. All right. I appreciate you taking care of yourselves, because, it's important. So looking at day 3 to 7 hazards outlook real quickly here, we have the hazardous cold we talked about, the 2nd through the 6th through the 7th, and the 6th through the 9th of February, and with high winds possibly up here in Alaska, in these areas between the 6th and the 8th in northern Alaska, 8th, 9th, and 10th in the Aleutian Island chain, and far southeastern Alaska here. So here's the latest HRRR. We're going to go through the timing of the precip here in the south first. So this is generally now a little bit 5 a.m. So precip is ongoing along the Gulf Coast here. Rainfall moving through central Georgia into South Georgia, and that moves out by this afternoon. We possibly have some, in the deep south here. That's going to move out pretty early this morning, and into the afternoon is when it'll end in the middle part of Georgia, and move into southern Georgia as we get towards the evening here, with some snowfall. You can see on the edge of this in the in parts of the Tennessee, North Carolina, and we'll go over that region next. So this is deep south, and we have a little bit of snow up here in the Appalachians, right? Not a lot going on this morning. The rainfall is moving through, all right. Generally clears out by noontime, and a little bit between the afternoon sometime here in Georgia, and then pushes through North Carolina and South Carolina here, with cold air filtering in behind it. Some snowfall here in the Appalachians, Cumberland Plateau here, and this is where the NAM ends. And you have some increased returns here right along the North Carolina Virginia border. Maybe some heavy snow here as this moves through. Let's see, go back to 6Z, and we'll go a little further with this. Okay. You got some more snowfall up here in the far northern part of the country, and snow still hanging on here in the higher terrain. And you see on the back side of this, just got some light returns. May get some flurries or showers on the back side of this, some nuisance stuff, but nothing major here. So not a lot to talk about, but kind of neat for people who like snow to get this coming through briefly here, with not a lot of high impacts expected with this. And you have your Arctic front coming through the north here, which is going to bring some impactful snow to the northeast as the weekend approaches here. And this low is going to really intensify offshore here, but too late for any sensible impacts. So as far as total snowfall for the next 48 hours, according to the NAM, okay, HRRR, excuse me, not expecting a lot, generally between 1 and 2 inches here, with the highest amounts up in the around the Great Lakes. Okay, so and maybe a little bit, a touch of snow here in Atlanta. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but those snow showers coming through on the backside here may give you a little surprise here. And we may have a little surprise here along the North Carolina, Virginia border as well. We'll see how that plays out. So what temperature is going to look like for the long term? I'm going to compare the GFS ensemble and the European ensemble, the two global models here. And we pretty much know in the short term what's going to be happening here with colder than normal temps in the east. And this is 850 millibar temperature anomaly, which gives a good proxy for the surface temps, right? Warm temps all the way up into Alaska here, parts of Alaska anyway. In the Midwest, the plains in the south, with cold air pushing through the northeast through this weekend, right? And cold air pooling up here into Canada with high pressure in the central and western U.S. And this system shifts off the east coast after the weekend. And then temperatures warm up here in general east of the Rockies with more of a zonal flow. All right. And then we get towards the end of this, the GFS is indicating a pretty stout ridge building here in the middle to eastern part of the country, with some troughiness maybe returning to the east briefly here. Maybe a system develop off the coast here, right? But the way this flow is, the temperatures into surface are likely to be pretty warm, right? So, and you get even further out, becomes more uncertain, but depicting a general southwest flow here with colder temps in the western U.S. and warmer temps in the east. So what does the European ensemble show? To start off with, we have some cold air in the east and southeast. You see the cold air pushing through. This is the European ensemble. Really warm temps in the west here. We know what's going on with that. Arctic air is pushing through and moving towards the northeast through the weekend. Very anomalous cold here in the northeast and then the parts of the south. All right. You see the stark difference here in temperatures. Okay. High pressure, 850 millibars, moving to the east here some. And the heights seem to be more focused in the central and the northern and the parts of Canada here, with a less amplified pattern out west, but generally west to east flow here, right? And towards the end of this, just like on the GFS ensemble, maybe wanting to get a trough or a system develop off the coast here. And then also wants to bring a ridge in here as well with a deep southerly flow. It looks like, deep southerly flow here with generally colder than normal temperatures out west all the way up into Alaska. So I think a pattern shift, at least through this period, is underway or is going to happen here. So what does this equate to the surface as far as the GFS model goes? You have your snowfall and rainfall pushing through the southeast. And then you have the Clipper system with Arctic air pushing through the east here. General northwest flow continuing, maybe a few more Clipper systems, right? High pressure, but generally zonal flow here through the middle part of this model run, right? And then this output gets highly uncertain further out. Just becomes a mess because the ensemble loses a lot of resolution this far out. So, but generally depicting a zonal flow here. So not a lot of implication at the surface with this, right? So let's switch to the GFS operational, see what it shows. So this is Thursday, 5 February, the GFS system moving through the east. Amplification of the ridge out west at the surface. That continues. And this is 6Z run. It doesn't go that far out. So I'm going to go with the 00Z run. General zonal flow here, right? Not a lot of amplification, but maybe just, system moving through the northern part of this flow along a boundary here, right? So wherever this boundary sets up, you have different system moving through, but it's more Pacific air than Arctic air, right? And that, remember we talked about maybe that trough developing off the east coast here towards the end of the period here, maybe a little bit of Arctic air coming back, but it's mostly west to east flow here, guys. And maybe depicting a more amplified flow towards the end of this run, right? But overall, Pacific flow looks like it's going to dominate here when we get towards the end of this, right? You have some moisture just streaming in the west coast continually here. Different areas, and then you have some development of systems in the east as well. So this is European, right? Operational run, trough pushing through the east. We got the Clipper system, right? General northwest flow, bringing Arctic air, and the system really wrapping up here right off the coast. Too far to have any impacts directly, maybe Cape Cod here, but ocean effect snow there going, right? Northwest flow, then you maybe get some ridging, but overall, not a very amplified pattern here. Maybe some amplification, and with the potential for some heavy rainfall in the next week or so in the Tennessee Valley. But generally warmer temps here. Now, the European wants to really dig a trough here, and the pattern is quite different from what the GFS was showing at this point. And bring some maybe return of Arctic air to the eastern U.S. with maybe the ridge building again out west here. It's kind of at odds with the ensemble, but doesn't last very long, and maybe ridging builds back in with a general zonal flow here, with more Pacific energy going through in parts of Southern California and out west here. Going further out in time here, the risk of heavy precip is on the increase here, the 11th and 12th. This is 8 to 14 day outlook, by the way, the 11th through the 17th. Right, 11th and 12th for the southwest here into parts of California in the desert southwest. And into the Tennessee Valley, Mississippi Valley, the 12th through the 15th. Heavy snowfall returns to the west here and the Intermountain West up into the northern high plains, with a slight risk here, the 13th through the 17th, in the Cascades here in Nevada, and like I said, the 11th through 12th here in this area further to the east. High winds are possible here the 11th through the 17th along the front range of the Rockies, so be mindful of that. And no hazardous temperatures for a while here. We've had this on the map constantly, so through this period, not expecting any hazardous cold or hazardous heat right now. As far as 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, so we maintain near normal to below normal temps on the eastern seaboard, into the southern Florida, and the tip of northern New England may be above near normal out west, and the ridge builds in the central U.S. with above normal temps building here. Right, and above in Hawaii, near normal to below in northern Alaska, and above in southeast Alaska. Aleutian Island chain looks to be above normal temps here. Precip is on the increase for the southwest United States and the central U.S. and the Midwest, near normal in the northern plains here, and northwest as well, above normal. Near normal precip chances in the south and into the parts of the Ohio Valley. Below normal right along the eastern seaboard and the southern part of Texas and Florida. We're near normal to above in Alaska, Hawaii, and the Aleutian Island chain. So we move 8 to 14 day period here. You see the warmer temps are pushing further east here. So in the red and orange areas, maybe near normal in the tip of southern Florida, near normal to below out west here, which is a big change from what it has been. And the same thing for Alaska, below to near normal temps, above Aleutian Island chain and above in Hawaii. And then the precip, like we talked about, is going to be on the increase along the west coast and in the central U.S. with that above normal chances here, where that chance of heavier rain is during this period as well. Far southern part of the U.S. maybe below, but most of the nation will either be near or above normal precip, chances. With a sliver of near normal precip chances in Alaska, mostly above, at least leaning above, with above in Hawaii and the Aleutian Island chain as well. When we look at a little bit longer range till the end of the month, the 14th to the 27th, the Climate Prediction Center issued this a few days ago. We'll have to see how this trends when they issue this again. I think it's on the 7th or the 5th. I have a feeling it's going to cut back on this below normal temperature outlook here. But we'll see what happens. This is their latest. Equal chances for the good portion of the U.S. Below in the Midwest to Northeast, parts of Northeast, Mid-Atlantic. Equal chances in northern New England. Above normal chances out west here in this area, generally in the southwest part of the U.S. Alaska is split between equal, below, and above. Aleutian Island chain equal to above and above in Hawaii. And now precip outlook. Not a lot of certainty for precip, but they're leaning towards, and we talked about this, above normal precip here with a stalled boundary in the Mississippi Valley, Ohio, parts of the Ohio Valley and Tennessee Valley here, northwest. Like I said, the rest of the U.S. equal chances here. So, same thing in Alaska, equal above, and for southern Alaska and southeast Alaska, Aleutian Island chain, equal chances, and Hawaii trending above normal precip as well. So I wanted to close by saying thank you all for watching, and the weather is my passion, and I appreciate you spending the time to support my channel just by watching it, even if it's for 5 minutes. And thank you very much. I love you all, and I hope you have a great day, and God bless.